I am back watching some more One Piece. It is the start of Marineford. So many people have been hyping this up for so long, so I'm definitely excited. Just a little bit of quick predictions. What do I think is going to happen? Basically, I think Whitebeard is going to show up first with his forces. It won't be looking good. It will be looking like, okay, they're going to lose. That's when the X Factor himself, Luffy, will turn up with all the escaped prisoners from Impel Down. It will be just enough chaos to kind of turn the tide, save Ace. That's kind of what I think is going to happen. Let's begin. Not looking so good, is it, Ace? We're seeing a little bit of a backstory. But yeah, even with Ace, don't really have like the most info on him as far as like, okay, who is he as a character? To me, he's mostly just Luffy's brother. Like, yeah, he's reckless and things like that and doesn't back down from fights. But I would definitely hope to see a little bit more about him, his past. I like just the sound of that chain. It really just sets the mood, like, okay, things are tense. Okay, what the flip? Like, what? What? You mean to tell me the man is getting executed and now he has to climb all these stairs? Okay, I like the music kicking in. Okay, I'm getting hyped now. South Blue. Or, okay, are we getting reaction shots just of what everyone is thinking? If Whitebeard has arrived. Okay, I really like this. I love it every time they do it. It makes the One Piece world feel a lot grander, more alive, because you get all the different perspectives. Okay, so you have some people who doubt Whitebeard, others that obviously don't. Yeah, no, he is. I'm almost certain too. Imagine if he just no-showed. No, he's turning up. Okay, so we're going all about. Okay, we got shepherds out here. He doesn't need to win. He just needs to get Ace. 20 years ago. You see, they keep bringing up this Shiki guy, so he must be important. He escaped Impel Down, then he went to Marineford and just raised it. Okay, so like, history kind of repeats itself. I mean, with Luffy. Interesting, because Luffy obviously went to Impel Down, escaped like Shiki, and then is going to Marineford. What is kind of funny though, is even if Whitebeard didn't show up, you know Luffy is showing up regardless. He would be like, okay, I'm gonna save Ace. Even if he's like the only one there, it doesn't matter. He would still be like, I'm gonna save him. That's a good point. You see, so we are getting all the different perspectives. He could fit in that bar though. This man said he was in the bar. Whitebeard is like 20 feet tall. Got a peg leg too. He's got a nice coat. We need a nice coat for Luffy. Is scarier than a devil. You know, to be fair, imagine in the One Piece world just how insane like the legends would be, because these people actually have abilities and are scary. I would like to learn more about the deities. What god was she praying to? Again, learning about the religions of a world fleshes it out with the world building. I feel like I know so little about the religions of the One Piece world. You know what they say about black cats crossing the street? It is a bad omen. Wait, they're televising it. Okay, this is good. Then the world government, those frauds won't be able to cover up Luffy's, you know, his successes. Just the crazy stuff he's about to do. Okay, all these reporters, you better report. Actually, I don't even care if you report the truth. You gotta hype up Luffy. Yeah, you got giants and everyone here. I am excited. Yeah, that's because every ship that's gotten close to him has been sunk. They're not wrong about the tension continuing to rise. That is so many frickin' stairs. That's not right. It's bad enough the man has to die. Does he really have to climb all these stairs? Garp is pissed. Sengoku must have said something wild if he's that upset. It means a little bit more when a jolly character like Garp is upset. Okay, is what really necessary? I was definitely wondering if Garp would be there, but no, he's 100% there. I guess also the people need to see the hero of the Marines at, you know, such a big event. Frickin' goat. Okay, there's only room for one goat in this show, and his name is Luffy. Shut the flip up. I love his hat. If Luffy saw his hat, he'd be like, ooh, can I have that hat? Warships and giants and how many people are here? What the flip? You see how many Marines there are? How many Whitebeard pirates can possibly show up? Like, obviously he had his different divisions and you have to assume many allies. That being said, like, how many people can possibly show up? Jesus, there is no end. Okay. Elite soldier. What? Okay, so 100,000. Can 100,000 people even fit there? That number feels a little excessive, but I mean, I guess not. Oh, and the warlords, you see them? I mean, there's only 5, but still. Okay, I love just the unique designs of the warlords. Some obviously look stupider than others, like Moria, but Don Quixote do Flamengo. That's a cool design. Draco Mihawk might be my favorite design for a character. I don't know. It's up there. The admirals. I need to see more of that third admiral, okay? Yeah, I could imagine. The Navy's greatest powers. I still feel like I know nothing about the other admiral. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Sakazuki, okay. I remember Sakazuki. People told me to remember him from Ohara, so okay. He was the crazy one that really went a little too far with, hey, let's destroy that civilian ship. Live without leaving any regrets. Yeah. That's definitely something you can say about Luffy. Freer than anyone else. Okay. You could tell, like, Shanks definitely had such a huge effect on Luffy, but they're kind of showing, like, Ace also had a big effect. Like, hey, you remember, live without any regrets and be as free as possible. And freedom is so important to Luffy, especially when you think of even when Luffy was talking to Rayleigh, and Rayleigh was like, do you think you have what it takes to conquer the seas? And Luffy was like, I don't know what the flip you're talking about. Okay, that's not exactly what he said. He's like, King of the Pirates is the person who's the freest on the seas. And Rayleigh was kind of like, okay. Meaning, like, he probably said the same thing Roger thought. Look at Luffy. What does he see? Does he see the gates? The gates? Okay, yeah. I love that look from Luffy where he leaned in. I would hope you see it. I mean, if you missed it, you might have issues. I have to assume Whitebeard will take care of the gate. Or, here's what will happen. Buggy. Buggy is the key, okay? He's just got to step forward and be like, open, or something like that. Am I wrong? I tell you. We saw what this man was able to do in Impel Down, how he was able to get rid of the poison wall without even lifting a finger. That's how great he was. Who's that fraud panda man? It is kind of funny that they're following a literal clown. But, I mean, to be fair, there would be something kind of funny and ironic if a clown ended up ruling the seas. I do like the way they animate just like that breeze in the hair and things like that. Just little things like that. The calm before the storm. And they're televising it. You cannot hide what is about to happen. Yeah, they're really setting the mood. It's funny because Luffy is tied to basically like every one of the major players in some way. Which makes sense, he's the main character, but if you didn't know that and then it's like, wait, why is it that every important thing that happens, they're somehow related to Luffy? Like, he might be the main character of the world. He obviously is, but that's a cool shot. Look at Garp and Sengoku. I'll tell them everything. I think Garp is the biggest wild card of this whole thing to me. Because I just like, what is he gonna do? When the fighting breaks out, like, what is he gonna do? I just, like, he could change the tides for everyone. What is he gonna say? Okay. Smoker, Tashigi, Momonga. Okay. What Garp looks flustered as hell. This is serious. Tell him the name of your father. Is this about Dragon? He's gonna say Whitebeard, though. Yeah. We looked for you? Okay. Child of that man on some island? Okay. We couldn't find you. Okay. Use a trick that can be called Mother's Pride. Like, okay. What's going on? Portgas D. Rose. So he took his mother's name. The D. She had the D in her name as well. Defied natural law. What? 20 months? How the flip is that even possible? I mean, he said it's like a miracle. Past. Okay. After, what do you mean the father's death? Okay, so his dad isn't Dragon. So he's not related to Luffy. I really thought that he was related to Luffy. Okay, what? What? Yeah, what? His dad is the king of the pirates? Or was the king of the pirates? Gold Roger. What the flip? What? I really didn't... What? Okay, what? I really thought he was Luffy's actual brother. I thought they were probably half-brothers, different mothers. It's just, he also had like the same traits that Garp did and stuff like that, with like the constant falling asleep in mid-conversation and things like that. Yeah, okay, what the fuck? If you told me one of them was Gold Roger's son, I would have assumed it was Luffy. Especially because he looked just like him. So, okay, you know what? To be fair, there was something that wasn't adding up about this execution. Which was like, why provoke Whitebeard now? But it's not about Whitebeard. They just want to execute Ace. So it's actually about executing Ace. I thought executing Ace was just a means to an end. Like, I legitimately thought they only wanted to execute Ace because they wanted to lure Whitebeard out so that they could take him down and like show their dominance. But yeah, so it's not about provoking Whitebeard. It's literally just about executing Ace. It's about cutting off the King of the Pirates line. I really thought though, I didn't doubt for a second that Ace was Luffy's brother, especially because there were certain character quirks that I was like, oh, Ace has them, Luffy has them, and Garp does. Like when Garp and Luffy first met up, it was just the fact that they fell asleep mid-fight or mid-conversation. Like, you know that thing that they did? Which Ace also did. Like, Ace would perpetually do all that. He was also kind of silly and goofy. Maybe not as silly and goofy as Garp and Luffy, but close to it, I would say. He also looked similar to Luffy. And even with like looks, Luffy looks more like the King of the Pirates than Ace does, in my opinion. Even like that grin that Luffy has and things like that. Okay, this kind of like recontextualizes Ace entirely now. Like, I thought that Luffy and Ace were brothers. I thought they had the same father, Dragon. Ace didn't want to have the monkey name because he wanted to make a name for himself. And he's like, okay, if I'm tied to the monkey name, people will always be like, oh, he's Garp's grandson, or he's Dragon's son. And I thought like, okay, maybe he wanted to have like his mother's name, the Portgas name. I mean, I like the idea, don't get me wrong, because it makes things more interesting. And even speaking of more interesting, this makes me think like, is Rayleigh going to show up now? Because I would assume, wouldn't Roger have told Rayleigh about, like, because he was telling Garp before his execution, wouldn't he have told Rayleigh about like his son or child? I guess he didn't know it was a son. Like, Rayleigh was his best friend. You would think like, okay, he would tell him. I don't know. It would get more interesting if Rayleigh turned up. I would hope he does. I would assume, like, yeah, he's Captain's son. You're right there. But either way, it even kind of gets into this idea of like inherited will. It doesn't even matter though that Ace is Roger's son, because it's about inherited will. Who inherited Roger's will? And sure, like, Ace wants to be, you know, a great pirate, this and that, but Luffy, he clearly inherited Roger's will. And like, he's not his son. I did wonder when the series first started, hey, is Luffy the King of the Pirates' son? No, okay, he's not. But what was I saying? Oh, it's about inherited will though. Yeah, and everyone's like, we gotta snuff out the line. But the thing is, it doesn't matter who's biologically related to who in the One Piece world. Like, it matters a tiny bit, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. Because Rayleigh looked at Luffy and he's like, huh, he's just like my captain. Shanks looked at Luffy and he probably thought the same. He's just like my captain. Regardless, though, they're going to think like, hey, we got to snuff out Ace. Then we solve the problem. The King of the Pirates legacy is gone. And it's like, no, it lives through people like Luffy. Doesn't matter if you're related or not, but anyway, I've rambled enough. On to the next. Yeah, I could imagine these reporters would be going crazy. I mean, again, this is world-shattering news. Arch-villain has a kid. Again, though, they are going to miss the point. Miss the point of the series that it's not about who you're related to. It's about dreams and who carries wills and, you know, inherited wills and things like that. Again, what I hope is going to happen is everyone will be looking at like, okay, we got to execute Ace. We got to make sure like Ace is not allowed to leave. And then once Luffy shows up, they'll be like, hold on. That guy might actually be the most dangerous. Like, what the flip? This is a cool shot, though. Okay, what are they going to say? Anything? Come on, say, okay. Wow. Really? Okay, you got to say something. Not even, okay. Thank you. Finally, Hancock. Someone says something. Yeah, no, that I didn't doubt for a second, though, that they were actually biologically related. I thought that they were probably half siblings, but still. Well, obviously not everyone connected to Roger was executed at that time. I mean, he's got probably crewmates running around. We've already seen a couple of them. We see his son. Who did they even execute? That's a nice shot. Is he reminiscing on the past? Flashback time? Okay, younger Garp. I guess he's talking to Roger, like in some of the flashbacks. Okay, get to see more of the King of the Pirates. I wouldn't just be throwing around that information. Garp looks pissed. Yeah, but he's not telling a Navy officer, he's telling you. He trusts you. That's funny. Like, these two were like nemesis of each other. And he's like, I trust you. Yeah. Did you tell Rayleigh? You better have told Rayleigh some of this stuff, though. Before, obviously, you got handed in. Yeah. We sure he's not related to Luffy? You sure? We sure? Yeah, of course he's going to protect his child. But he didn't want to ask his best friend, Rayleigh, to do it for him? I mean, like, Garp would be able to protect the child a little better, and Rayleigh would bring more attention. But, like, when you didn't want to make a deal with the government to be like, hey, when I hand myself in, any, you know, relations I have, children or friends, are off limits for, like, previous crimes. Like, you would think you'd be able to have some sort of immunity. I mean, people, the world government forms, you know, partnerships with pirates and gives them, like, partial immunity and stuff like that. They wouldn't be like, okay, fine, your crew is forgiven of past crimes and things like that. Anything they do in the future, not off limits for the world government. You see, cut the bloodline is wild. It's one thing to, like, take someone on in a fight. It's another thing to go around executing mothers and children. Mothers and babies. Oh, well, you see, this is just like... Anytime I think maybe the world government isn't so bad in the One Piece world, then they do all sorts of, like, kill anyone who's just suspicious. Is that a hibiscus in her hair? 5 were born in this month. And she just kind of, like, kept Ace in her for, they said 20 months? That is just wild. I mean, I do like the fact that it's like a miracle. A mother's miracle, like showing a mother's love. It is still a little wild though. 20 months? 20 months is like such an insane amount of time. Again, the One Piece world is not kind to mothers. Yeah, those are definitely hibiscus. Not yet. And she's got a D in her name as well, so that's kind of interesting. It is lovely, but it's crazy because there's some sick stuff going on with like world government going around just executing pregnant women and babies and stuff like that. Garp is finally here. Garp is a unit. Here's Ace. Goldie Ace. Yeah, but he definitely can't go by Gol. Like, we already know that's kind of his name, but you can't put that in your name. They'll know immediately. And she died. Yeah, I swear, like, if you're a mother in the One Piece world, you have, like, the worst mortality rates, I swear. It's just kind of crazy, taking in the son of, like, the world's most infamous pirate. They mentioned that name once more. Dadan? Oh, Luffy. Oh man, I want to see more of, like, Luffy's childhood. Luffy's funny, man. Why is he looking at them like that? I swear there was something kind of funny about the way he was looking at them, like, what the flip? I don't know if that was intentional, it was just kind of a funny look. My father's Whitebeard, yeah, I remember this. I wonder how strong she is. She's probably really strong too. In Rose of the Sea. I like the Spade Pirates is a perfect name. Ace of Spades. I can see a little bit of a resemblance. I feel like they changed up the way they animated Roger a little bit. Well, especially from the start of the series. Yeah. And I would assume Whitebeard would know. You know, I mean, Whitebeard probably knows, like, his time is coming to an end. He knows he's not going to be king of the pirates. Regardless, the gates are opening. It was Buggy. This man parted the gates like Moses parted the Red Sea. He commanded them to open. Buggy is definitely going to get credit for this. Shut the fuck up. This man is using divine power. Honestly, he might be. That's what I want to know. Okay, look at that. That's just aura right there. How many will there be? Are we talking like 100 ships? Okay, they're here. 43 ships in total. There's no way, you don't have nearly the numbers that the Marines do. I mean, don't get me wrong, you probably have some heavy hitters on your side. I mean, you got the biggest heavy hitter, but the Marines definitely have strength in numbers. It is fun. He's coming from beneath. What, he got his ship coated? He's gonna pop up right in the middle? Okay. Whitebeard's got a big ship, too. Look at Mihawk. Mihawk just has such a nice design. Coated. Yeah. I love the fact that it's a whale and it's Moby Dick is the name. I mean, I say it's a whale. It's made to look like a whale, the ship. It's kind of cool. Is it about to end? Okay. I love that instead of just instant chaos, it's like, hey, let's reveal some stuff about Ace. Some wild stuff. Definitely wasn't expecting that. Let's learn more about kind of Ace's backstory. I mean, most of it was like pre-Ace, you know, his mother's story and things like that. Man, the One Piece world is not kind to mothers. I'm hoping Rayleigh turns up because he's like, okay, I gotta go and save my captain's son, or at least I gotta try my best. I mean, this is a guy who took on an admiral at Sabaody for a bunch of people he just met, and Luffy and things like that. I've rambled enough. Should be interesting. I'm excited. What do you think? If you want to see more, please like and subscribe. And thank you for watching.